Neighbor used a drone to spy on my wife. I tracked him down and dragged him to court. What would you do if you discovered your neighbor was using a drone to spy on your family, violating your privacy and making your own home feel unsafe? The quiet suburban hum of our cul-de-sac, Willow Creek Drive, was usually a comforting backdrop to our lives. Our backyard, a sanctuary with a small garden and a playset for our daughter, was where my wife, Emily, loved to relax with a book. We'd chosen this home specifically for its sense of community and the privacy provided by the mature trees lining our fence. I, David Miller, a software engineer with a keen eye for tech and a fierce protectiveness over my family, cherished these simple moments of peace. Then came Karen. Not Karen the person, but Karen the phenomenon. Our new neighbor, Mr. Henderson, moved in 3 houses down. He wasn't Karen by name, but his actions embodied the entitlement. Our tranquility was shattered one afternoon when Emily came inside, her face pale, almost trembling. "David," she whispered, "there's a drone." It was hovering right over my head in the backyard. I swear, it felt like it was looking right into the house. My blood ran cold. The thought of a stranger violating our private space, potentially filming my wife or daughter, ignited a primal anger. I marched outside, scanning the sky. There it was, a sleek, black drone, barely visible against the afternoon sun, hovering ominously above our property. It lingered for a moment, then zipped away, disappearing over Mr. Henderson's roof. The main conflict, a chilling violation of privacy, was laid bare. Our new neighbor was using a drone to surveil our home, his actions stemming from an unsettling sense of entitlement to observe us, completely disregarding our right to privacy. His attitude was one of blatant disregard, a perverse curiosity that morphed into an intrusive, unsettling presence. I tried to be reasonable initially. I walked down to Mr. Henderson's house, a meticulously maintained, sterile-looking property. "Mr. Henderson," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "I saw your drone over my backyard. My wife feels very uncomfortable. Could you please keep it off our property?" He merely smirked, leaning against his freshly painted fence. "Oh, that old thing. Just testing out its capabilities. It's a fantastic piece of tech, really. And a backyard is hardly private when it's open to the sky. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Miller? Besides, I like to keep an eye on things in the neighborhood. For security, you know." His tone was dismissive, his eyes holding a glint of perverse pleasure, as if he enjoyed the discomfort he caused. The drone flights continued, becoming more frequent and bolder. It would hover lower, closer to our windows. Emily started staying indoors more, and our daughter's playtime in the backyard became a thing of the past. Then, Mr. Henderson's audacity escalated into a direct, shocking act of harassment. One evening, Emily and I were sitting in our living room, the blinds open. Suddenly, the drone appeared, hovering directly outside our window, its small camera light blinking. It lingered for several excruciating minutes, clearly recording, before zipping away. This wasn't just observation. It was blatant, targeted voyeurism, a deliberate invasion of our most intimate space, making us feel utterly exposed and vulnerable in our own home. Right after the living room incident, a crucial twist unfolded from an unexpected source. My elderly next-door neighbor, Mrs. Gable, a sweet woman known for her love of bird-watching and her state-of-the-art telescopic camera, knocked on my door. "David," she whispered, her voice trembling, "I saw that drone. It's been bothering me too. I thought it was just curious, but then I noticed its flight path. It kept coming back to your house. I even caught it on my camera a few times when I was trying to photograph that rare finch. Look at this." Her telescopic camera, designed for extreme zoom, had not only captured crystal-clear images of Mr. Henderson's drone hovering over our property, but also, in one astonishing frame, a reflection of Mr. Henderson's face in the drone's shiny casing as he adjusted the camera lens, grinning. And then, there was another, more chilling detail. A flicker of movement in the background of one of her images showed a distinct, unusual antenna on Mr. Henderson's roof. The larger consequence of Mr. Henderson's actions became terrifyingly clear. He wasn't just a nosy neighbor. The rare finch Mrs. Gable was trying to photograph was part of a federally protected migratory bird study led by the National Audubon Society. The drone's repeated, low-altitude flights were disrupting the nesting patterns of these sensitive birds, threatening to derail years of critical environmental research and potentially causing the local extinction of this vulnerable population. His petty voyeurism had now escalated into a direct attack on a significant conservation effort, elevating his personal invasion of privacy to a matter of profound ecological importance. And that antenna? A quick search by a tech-savvy friend revealed it was a highly directional, illegal signal booster, allowing him to operate the drone far beyond its legal range and potentially intercept other wireless signals in the neighborhood. Armed with Mrs. Gable's irrefutable photographic evidence, the furious National Audubon Society director, and my own burning desire for justice, I didn't just call the police. I called the local news station and a civil liberties lawyer specializing in privacy violations. The next morning, as Mr. Henderson was adjusting his drone on his backyard patio, preparing for another flight, the news van pulled up, its satellite dish unfolding. The police cruisers and a vehicle from the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, followed close behind. Mr. Henderson, in his crisp polo shirt, looked utterly bewildered. "Mr. Henderson," a reporter shouted, thrusting a microphone in his face. "Are you aware your drone operations are under investigation for illegal surveillance and disturbing protected wildlife?" Mr. Henderson's face went from confusion to utter, white-faced rage. "What? This is outrageous. This is my private hobby. I'm just enjoying my technology. This is a malicious attack on my character." "That man is a snoop," he shrieked, desperately trying to manipulate the situation, his voice shrill and breaking. "He started pointing fingers at me and Mrs. Gable, accusing us of slander." Just as his tirade reached its peak, a representative from the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, stepped forward, followed by a grim-faced detective from the cyber crimes unit of the local police. The FAA representative spoke first, his voice cold and cutting. "Mr. Henderson, your drone is registered, but your flight logs indicate multiple violations of airspace regulations, operating beyond visual line of sight, and flying over private property without consent. Furthermore, your unauthorized signal booster is a federal offense. Your drone is being impounded, and you're facing significant fines and potential revocation of your drone license." The cybercrimes detective stepped forward, and Mr. Henderson, based on this evidence, he held up Mrs. Gable's photo with Mr. Henderson's reflection and the National Audubon Society's complaint regarding your interference with protected species. "We have sufficient probable cause to execute a search warrant on your property. We believe your drone contains evidence of illegal surveillance of your neighbors, including potential recordings of private moments." A nervous murmur rippled through the gathered neighbors as one elderly man stammered. He told me he was just testing the range of his new security system. I had no idea he was recording us." It was a chilling revelation. Mr. Henderson wasn't just an eccentric. He was systematically recording his neighbors, likely for some perverse satisfaction, and his security excuse was merely a cover for his illicit voyeurism. A past incident, whispered among older residents, revealed that Mr. Henderson had been dismissed from a previous job as a security guard due to unauthorized use of surveillance equipment. The consequences for Mr. Henderson were immediate and utterly devastating. He was arrested by Sheriff Lewis and the FBI agents on multiple charges, including illegal surveillance, violation of FAA regulations, interference with a federal conservation program, and later, as the extent of his recordings was uncovered, for multiple counts of invasion of privacy and harassment. His drone, his illegal signal booster, and all his recording devices were confiscated. His meticulously crafted image as the tech-savvy neighbor shattered into irreparable pieces. The neighbors he had unwittingly recorded now turned on him, furious and disgusted at being violated in their own homes. His few social connections, built on a facade of community interest, abandoned him completely, unwilling to be associated with such public disgrace. His reputation, his freedom, and his peace of mind all gone. He lost everything: his freedom, his expensive gadgets, and his ability to live anonymously in the community he had terrorized. The ultimate irony was that his attempt to assert his perceived right to spy led to the complete unraveling of his personal life and freedom. As for our family, our peace slowly returned to Willow Creek Drive. The drone was gone. Emily felt safe in our backyard again, and our daughter's laughter once more filled the air as she played on the swing set. The National Audubon Society was able to re-establish the finch's nesting patterns, citing the case as a landmark victory for wildlife protection. The satisfaction was immense, watching his perverse game unravel before the public eye, a quiet triumph of privacy and justice over intrusive arrogance and blatant criminality. What's your take on this? When someone so brazenly invades the privacy of others and interferes with vital conservation efforts, does their complete and utter downfall truly serve justice? Or is there a point where the consequences become too extreme?